time to talk antiques once again. And boys, I've got a son that does a lot of this fishing stuff, so he might even want to hear some of this.
Hey, you might want to, like for Christmas, buy him one of them $4,000 fishing lures.
Yeah, if Ronnie will loan me the money,
I'd say Ronnie will do it.
He want a lot of interest though.
Yeah, but
You know who I saw at Food Line last night?
Who?
I saw Max Northcutt at Food
Really?
Line.
Hey man, you saw it.
So he's still alive?
I asked him. He said he's been thinking about coming up here. I said, well, you better.
Yeah.
Because we talk about you every time.
the problem with him though is when he thinks, it takes him a long time to finish it out.
He gets dangerous.
He might start like the process today. It take him 2 or 3 weeks to really think the thought
I
out.
saw Max on TV the other day. He did a presentation for a lunch and learn in Tullahoma that something to do with the Tullahoma City puts on once a month. Mm-hmm. And he came on and talked about Civil War and stuff like that. I saw him on TV and I had to turn it up to see what in the world he was doing.
Was he good?
He didn't seem like he was too drunk. But no,
well,
he was great. Yeah, Max knows what he's talking about.
The 18th. My son and I are going to go over there and talk about the American Pickers.
Oh, on the lunch and learn?
Yeah, they got a little flyer already out and everything. So.
As in a week from today?
Yeah, 18th.
Okay. Yeah.
Guess who won't be here?
Oh, what?
Right,
yeah.
We'll cover you.
Oh, it's not till lunchtime. You should.
Well, 11:45, but you know how I am. I get there early.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we proved we can cover it, David.
Yeah, I know you can.
Yeah.
Y'all can do it with your eyes closed.
Lord, yeah.
Okay, so let's. I know that some of the first fishing lures were made like in 1850, and so how the guy decided he wanted to make him fish a lure is somebody throwed out in the pond a light piece of wood, and all of a sudden the bass attacked that thing.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I did not know
I
that.
didn't either.
So it gave him an idea, and he took that idea, and from there, the rest of it's history. And do you have the history?
Sure do.
All right.
All right.
Wait a minute. We might have a call here.
Is that us?
I tell you what, I want to eat shrimp to this day because I used to fish with it.
There you go. So if any item holds special mysticism among fishing gear, it's the lure. Some anglers spit on them for good luck. Many have favorites and refuse to share those secrets with others, and some say the magic is knowing when to use specific lures, like light-colored lures on dark days or dark-colored lures on light days. There are spoons, buzz baits, tubes, cranks, jitterbugs, streamers, and flies, and plenty more than that to choose from. Lures have been coveted and have been around for a long time, says Randy Nelson, who's a historian of antique fishing lures website.
Nephew, you know that.
That Randy Nelson now, wherever he lives, most of the lure manufacturing is within a 200-mile range of where he lives.
Huh. He said there are many makers of wooden and steel lures in the nation, but the most sought-after lures among the collectors nowadays are those made by Hedden, Creek Club, Shakespeare, or Pfluger. And you're right, he said he lives in northwest Indiana, considered the hub of the country for development of the fishing lure industry. So do you collect any fishing lures, David? Is that something?
I don't collect them, but I probably got 100 or so.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not a collector.
Are they're just in your
I
fishing
picked them
tackle
up.
box?
Well, what I did, I picked them up like one at a time. If I seen one that I like the wooden with the glass eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Lures made between 1909 and 1940 are hard to find in mint condition. He said David Wright, a longtime member of the National Fishing Lure Club. Founded in 1881 in Akron, Ohio, E.F. Pfluger's Enterprise Manufacturing Company was the first major commercial tackle company. In 1883, Pfluger patented luminous lure paint designated for night fishing. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder what he made it from.
I don't know. Probably lightning bugs.
Yeah, there you go. Caught 10 zillion lightning bugs.
There you go. I mean, what else are you going to use in 1883 to glow in the dark?
Evidently, paint.
Yeah. Pfluger's top lure was called the Luminous Flying Hellgrammet, and it had wings and feathers, but they only produced them for a year. making it one of the most highly sought after lures. Wright said, I've only seen a few out there, and not one is willing to part with it. In the early years, Pflueger produced rubber decoys like the rubber Muscalong minnow, 3 single hooks and metal fins, and in 1899 came out with the Troy minnow, which had 3 treble hooks, propellers at the head and tail, and yellow glass eyes. Man, they were $18.99. That's pretty.
They don't mess around.
Pretty fancy stuff, yeah. So, do you want to see what we're bringing on them, or do you want
Well,
me to?
now I've got a little thing from Randy's website here
Oh, you
about
do?
how he grades those
Okay.
All right.
antique
Well,
fishing lures.
let's hear it.
Okay, he's got MIB new in the box, is unused with the original box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mint would be unused without the box or the carton. Excellent is very little to no age cracks or very minor defects. Very good is little age cracks and some minor defects. Good is some age cracks starting to chip and small defects. Average is some paint loss and or chipping and showing age. Fair, it has a major paint loss or defects and a lot of chipping. Poor is when it's got parts missing, poor color, and major chipping. And R means repaint, which is original paint covered in part or all. And then they add pluses or minuses to those with each scale. Like very good plus or excellent plus.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's how they grade those.
Okay. So, number 1 on our.
You got a few right here, though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. We got some in our article here. We got the Chub Creek lures were cedar bodies, not pine or basswood. They all contain extra high finish on all nickeled parts. The selling points were the unusual lifelike shapes and delicate and intricate coloring. Estimates are that it was manufactured in 1925. Selling at $70 is the Mustang Minnow from 1948 by Pflueger. The Hedden Winchester Bug was one of the premier fly rod lures in the late 1920s and early 1930s. This particular wooden one was finely painted and adorned with feathers and hair with its original box. It was sold at a show for $325.
Wow.
That's a lot for.
Yeah, now you were talking about where Randy lived. He lives in northwest Indiana.
Right. Let's see, another one. Here's a wooden 1925 Creek Chub lure. Has an asking price of $240. It's a coveted lure and given the name the Surface Delight. And it's the body of it is about as big as a quarter, and then it's got feathers off the back of it. It's, these are I didn't know that they could paint these so nicely back in the day. I mean,
and that's all handwork.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it would be, wouldn't it? All right. Well,
So you've went to your buddy to see what he's getting out of them, right?
yeah, you always got to see what people are actually paying for them. So on our sold listings on eBay, you got the Hedden Muskie Vamp fishing tackle in the box. 33 bids for this one, so everybody was excited about it. $3,938.
Now that's quite a bit of money for a little lure.
For nearly $4,000 for a
Yeah.
lure. That's impressive.
Yeah, but it must have been a hot one. Look
Well,
at me, like you said. Look at
Excellent.
me.
33 people on it.
Yeah.
MIB, man.
What's the largest fish you have ever caught personally?
I've seen some huge catfish. I've caught some great old big catfish.
Well, I used to live next to Denny Bush when I was here the first time. I can't remember where he lived
The
now.
fisherman.
Boy, he was a dude.
Yeah.
He had a catfish that filled a 55-gallon drum.
Golly.
I have never in my life seen such fish.
There's some huge ones out
Boy,
there.
this was a big
I wonder.
Dan.
A lot of people they what is that jug fishing, Ronnie? That I think your buddy does
Yeah,
that.
we used to trot line.
Yeah.
We set out 100 hooks in Normandy one time and 100 on Woods at Tim's.
Right.
And we'd go run one and bait it, then go run the other one and bait it, clean fish all day, do it again the next one.
Doggone.
Really?
My
Wow.
son Terry, every time it's dry, he's gone to
I know.
Chattanooga.
Yeah. People, they love that
Yeah, he
fishing.
loves fishing.
Now, Nicky Jack's a good place to
Yeah,
go
that's where
fishing.
he goes.
I had to check on this this James Hedden's musky vamp lure that got almost $4,000 for the description. I was trying to actually see what year it was, but it didn't say. And it said there's a long crack in the paint on the underbelly. So that's the only description about it. So it even has a long crack on it and still brought $4,000. Second on the listing is a Hedden Killer Minnow lure. It's got the box with it too, and they were asking $4,250, but they got, I guess, somewhere less than that.
Looks like there's about 5 hooks on it.
Let's say 1, 2, 3,
Is there one in the
4,
front?
5. Yeah, no, that's not one on the
there's
front
5
yet.
then.
Well, I'm not a fisherman, but how in the world are you going to get a fish off of that bite set?
You're gonna hold him by the
want to be
head
eating.
there, and then you're gonna take your pliers and pull it out of his mouth.
There you
Nah.
go. Here's a Hedden 1905 HFH 300 with the correct unmarked box. They were asking $3,800 and took a best offer on it. And it's another one with 4. Well, no, it's just got 2 hooks on it, but each hook has 3 on it.
You know, that box, it looks like it's seen.
It's a pretty rough looking box, but still. Here's an
There.
old antique vintage fishing lure bait is the only description on it. But people knew what it was because you got 29 bids and it went up to $2,235.
Yeah.
Let me look and see what the starting bid was on it to see if he knew what he was asking for. Nope, starting bid was $10.
Doggone.
$10 and it went up to $2,200.
Tell you what, with that, before you give us another price, let's take a break so you can push the button. You like pushing the button, right?
It's got to be done.
You push somebody's buttons all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
Boy, speaking of dynamite, that's who was just on there, wasn't it, Max?
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so on the break we was talking about the way, if I was going to fish, there'd only be 2 ways I'd fish. I'd use one of them old crank telephones, or, a stick of dynamite. That'll roll them up there real quick.
Yeah.
They'll roll up. Didn't you say you did that before, right?
Yeah, we've done it before.
Did it roll 'em up?
It brought them to the top.
Now, I
Man.
tell
We
you,
throwing them in the boat.
that saves a lot of time. You just go through there and scoop them up and go on home.
Well, the safest time to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning to have drunk. Because
Yeah.
if you go up there sober, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, but if you was half drunk, you was half sober.
There you go.
I guess that's the half that got us away.
Okay, so you found some more fishing lures, right?
True. We got a vintage rare Hedden Dawagic? I don't know. Killer lure and box with oak leaf vine border. 36 bids on that one. Went up to $2,062. Here's a Hedden 450 red and white killer with the correct box. 30 bids on it. Went up to $1,825.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it
Keep them
is.
things in a box, wouldn't you? You get hung.
There you go. Well, if you ever looked in anybody's tackle box, I mean, they're all just kind of all knotted together.
Oh,
Usually.
I know. And
Well-
if you cast that thing out and get your buddies backside, you in trouble.
That's true.
Did you see that little wooden box, the one in the wooden box?
He ain't got
No,
that.
I haven't
Well,
got
how much
that
was
one
that,
yet.
Ronnie?
It brought $1,500 on to buy it now. It's a vintage hidden wooden box lure, 106.
Huh, you know what? If it brought 1,500 that quick, no telling what it could have
Would have
brought.
brought good money probably at auction.
Yeah. What's your next one?
I got a rare 1930s Hedden Dawagic 350 Surfusser musky lure with natural scale in the original box. 19 bids on it, went for $1,777.
I found vintage hidden number 101 minnow in an early white pasteboard box with the correct papers brought $13.25. 16 bids.
I tell you what, I hope this show motivates people to go out and start looking into fishing tackle
Those
boxes.
lures have got to be everywhere.
They are. Especially at older people that's had them and put them up and replaced them with something else that they wanted to fish with.
Person just needs to make him a list of the high sellers.
I'd have a big yard sale tomorrow.
I'd be throwing them on eBay.
Yeah.
Here's a cool one. It's a rare Kent frog floater, super superb. It says, and it's painted like a frog. It's really amazing
That frog
little one.
in the story, the one that's legs kicked when you pull him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was an early one.
Yeah.
This is $1,500 was to buy it
That
now.
was a 1903.
I can see how that would work pretty good.
Look like the frog
Yes, sir.
swimming.
Well, that's what they're looking for, the movement.
Big old catfish go after
Yeah,
it.
man.
Think they're gonna have them a good little meal from frog legs.
Here's an unusual one. Is a vintage early TH Bates #2 serpentine spinner. So it's our first spinner in the lures, and 25 bids on it, went for $1,288.
Well, the thing about fishing lures, it don't cost much to ship them.
True, that is. That's a
No,
probably just want to insure them pretty good. If you're sending $1,300
it's
one,
more on insurance than you
that would be a bummer.
So what's our next one between you two? I know you.
I've got a Moonlight Bay Company, Paw 1916 bug lure. In the box, brought $980, 26 bids.
Hey,
Here you go. This is
here's the deal, right?
This is what Dave looks for.
Yeah.
There's a vintage Umco tackle box full of antique fishing lures, wooden lures, and a state find. And it's a tackle box. Man, there's 4 drawers on each side, and the bottom of it filled up. 34 bids on it.
That's the way I'd want to buy them.
$1,136.
You might be one in there to bring more than the whole
There
pay
it
for the
is.
whole box.
I think I would have probably dropped out before it got up to $1,100. So.
Said there's lots of.
You can never
vintage
win an
heddens,
auction if you drop
crankbaits.
out.
That's true.
You got to be
That's
the
true.
last bidder. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Okay.
true.
A lot of those were plastic in there. There's some cork. Plenty of unique older wooden lures.
Mm-hmm.
Way too much to list, he says. Says that the tackle box was purchased in Alabama. Seems to have been owned by either a collector or someone who took pride in their fishing tackle. Says there's plenty of wood lures and 6 fishing reels in the box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It said the box was a Unico 3000U.
Couple of lures
But now a
there.
lot of them were plastic, it said. But
Yeah,
it said there were a lot of wood.
They'll lure
cord.
you into trouble, right?
Yeah. Don't know what you might find, but I'd say this guy's probably went
All right.
Yeah.
So
I've got a vintage Charlie Russo 14-inch glass eye saltwater wooden fishing lure, and it's even signed.
it's green. Isn't it?
There you go. It's kind of a green with the glass eye on the side. They were asking $1,200, and
How
they
long is
got
that thing? It's got a ruler.
14 inch.
14 inch.
Yeah.
That
And
is huge.
they got over 1,000 for it. So.
Say, well, it's autographed.
I guess if I knew who Charlie Russo was, it would
Yeah.
make it more.
Well,
but,
evidently he must be a famous lure maker. What do you say?
Or a
possibly.
fisherman
He could
or
be a
what.
fisherman.
Could be.
Shit, he could be a quarterback. Yeah.
But if he's a fisherman, he must have made that lure, right?
Maybe so. I don't know.
Think
I
not.
don't know how many fishermen make their own lures. Here's a Moonlight Bait Company Paw Paw 1916 bug lure antique fishing box. Is this only the box? I gotta double check on this. Auction is for a rare box. Yes, it is. It's only the box.
How much is the box?
The box got 26 bids and went for $980.
That's what I was looking for a while ago to see if there was a box.
Well,
Now there you go. I wonder if the box brings more than the actual bait.
Somebody's got the lure to go in it.
So you can hide the lure inside the box. I don't know.
Whoever bought the box probably got the lure.
They got a vintage early Heddon 1300 black sucker musky minnow fishing lure. It's a wooden. One bid on it, but it went for $950. So that's a pretty good bid.
yeah. He stepped up there.
Here's a Heddon Hightails antique fishing lures. There's 15 in this one. Budweiser, Indy, and Top Kick featured in those. And $950 was the buy it now on that.
Free shipping.
Yeah, with free shipping. Usually when I sell something for $950, I'll give free shipping too.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, I've never actually sold anything
What
for
if you sold a
$950.
car for $950? Would you give him free shipping?
No, probably not. But that would be eBay Auto. That wouldn't be regular eBay.
Okay. So that's not usually then, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Vintage Heddon artistic minnow combo with the box and paperwork and the buoy. A rare collection of all of those together. It says they were asking $1,175, and they got somewhere around $900, I would say. Vintage Griner Florida lure collection, old Griner lures. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 19 in there, and it went. Well, they were asking $1,000 and got right about $900 for it. So
If you
Still
sold
probably pretty
something
good.
on eBay for over $10,000, would you charge them another $1,000 to ship it?
it depends,
If it was a yacht, you would, wouldn't you?
I know somebody who did that.
If it was a 10,000 yacht, you'd charge $1,000 to ship it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Well, you got to pay for gas to drive it to wherever they're at too. That's your excuse to take one last trip in the yacht.
Yeah.
All right. So
Here's a Fluger, all-in-one old wooden fishing lure with glass eyes. It has all 4 lips intact. Circa 1920s. They were asking $950, and they got probably about $850, $825, somewhere right around there.
That's
Here's-
enough to make a glass eye cry.
So, here's a 1916 antique fishing lure. It's a little tiny frog. Looks really handmade. Just about. Does it say? No, it doesn't say where's the company. 16 bids on it. Went for $787.97. And Jim Donnelly red fan minnow, red and white, circa 1910s. 31 bids on it, $771. If you have an really old vintage lure, it's worth checking it out on here.
Well, yeah.
sure is.
or go to that.
Hey, here's another frog.
Here's a frog.
Frog
that,
in a box.
I saw that.
that has legs, jointed legs on it. So it's got hooks all over that guy.
Probably kicks too.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like it's going to move quite a bit in the water. With the box, they were asking $950 and got somewhere between $700 and $750 on it.
Huh. What's that?
Here you go. A huge lot of fishing lures. Hedden Creek, new old stock. 50, some antique. Tough colors, no reserve. They keep mentioning that there's Hedden because there's the big brand.
Yeah.
56 bids on that went for $700.
Well, it must have been a hot item. 56 bids.
Yeah. You can probably zoom in on that picture if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And figure out whether the ones you're looking for.
Well, I think you're right about what you just said, though. They throw those famous people's names around that builds it and makes this stuff.
Yep.
And there might be one in there.
Okay.
We're going to take a break?
We can.
Aren't we close?
I thought you waved at me.
Oh, 2 minutes? Well, let's just keep talking then. Let's don't do it.
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, in 2 minutes, he can tell you about 3 or 4 more lures.
That's what.
We're going to go to
picking
some
his nose,
reels
so he
and
can-
some fishing rods next.
Yeah, okay.
So get on it there.
Here we got a vintage rare Hedden Dogwoodgiic in saltwater. So this is, I guess, a standard looking lure. They've got these little spinners on their nose of the lure that I'd say it spins. Say a little metal propeller looking thing that spins while you pull it. Draw attention. Make some sounds.
Move or something.
How much was it?
23 bids is $709.
All right, you got 1 minute.
Here we got a Tad Poly, Hedden Tad Poly green scale fishing lure, mint in the box. 28 bids on it for $645. Stanley Johnson Twin Men vintage fishing lure, green and in the box. It's pretty cool looking, nicely painted. 24 bids, $650 for that one.
Huh.
Man, that's they don't drop off.
I'd go out and check my tackle box and see.
Yeah.
I might have some of this
Hey,
stuff.
Or check
That's
I'd
it.
buy everybody fish tonight.
my grandpa's.
What I do, I'd check all them tackle boxes. If I had enough, I'd just retire with it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
And then go fishing
Go
again.
buy me a Captain
Yeah.
Eat all the fish I want.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
You might ought to check and see if you got any of them, because they hot.
Well, if you're buying lures, you need a rod and a reel to
That's
use them.
exactly right. Yep. Got to have it all.
All right.
All right, have you got something pulled up, Ronnie?
Yeah, I do. I've got an extremely rare Mickey Millum, number 6. He was made in Frankfort, Kentucky. Brought $3,708 with 6 bids.
Well, that's more than yours. Are you on?
Now this one says.
I've got fishing rods.
Yeah, well,
That's mine.
you want to do rods and reels together, or
Sure, we can split
This
it up
one
if you
says
want.
one crank of the reel and it spins forever.
Well, that sounds like a good song.
all right? So he's got the reel over there. What have you got on the
Okay,
rod?
well, get a
I've got
rod to go with
a
that.
collection of fly fishing rods. It looks like about 5 of them here. 12 bids on it, $2,100.
Let me ask you something. Why would anybody fish for flies?
I don't know. I know it's pretty easy to get your own. Just leave some hamburger out for a couple days.
Why would anybody fish for them?
I don't know.
Do you think they could catch many?
Yeah, I'd say
There you
no. Evidently, they must, because they make a lot of the rods, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so is it your turn?
Okay, I got a Charlton reel, 8550C. Probably bought about $3,000. They were asking $3,200 for it.
All right. What you got to go with that?
I got a Howells bamboo fly rod, 7.5 foot, rare near mint condition. They were asking $2,500 and got probably, I'd guess, about $1,200-$1,500 off that. Mm-hmm. It's still a pretty good deal for the seller.
Ronnie's talking to himself over there or something. His lips are moving.
Well, this one was kind of. I was thinking.
What do you got there?
I was looking at it and I said, "Well, that's not a reel," but what it is, it says an original Arthur Oscar Kolofsky big game reel, rare machine stamped tools. This is tools to work on one. 5 bids, $2,750.
Somebody must have needed those tools.
All right, can you top that?
I got an Orvis bamboo fly rod. Went for $1,000 for the buy it now.
Okay, I've got a vintage Bogdan salmon reel, unused. 1 bid, $2,400.
That is a really pretty rod there too. I've got a 7-foot W&M Granger Victory 7030 bamboo fly rod. It's a full length in excellent original condition dating back to the early 1950s. The rod is finished in beautiful deep caramel color, nicely complemented by black and orange jasper wraps. The rod has no functional or structural issues and is ready for the stream. And it went for $995.
What? Well, I got a reel here we can put on that. It's a Hardy Brothers Limited. They call this the St. George. It's a scarce multiplying reel. Now, what multiplying means, I do not know.
It looks like geared almost, is it?
Yeah, it's got, looks like a small gear, turning a larger gear. And I brought $1,500 on a buy it now.
I've got a, let's see, this is French. Prison.
Use your French accent.
Michel Ritz wading super parabolic bamboo split cane fly rod here. This is after World War II. By the end of the 40s, French hotelier Charles Ritz helped the French Ambrose-based company with the development and design of a complete new line of split cane bamboo fly rods. And this is one of those out of that collection, so it's from the late 40s or early 50s. It's numbered 31 with the tips numbered 1, 2, 3. The rod comes with original green anodized metal tube, an original tartan rod sack, and the original canvas color. The rod itself is in very good vintage condition, like the sack and tube. Canvas cover is in fair condition. It has a fast parabolic action and very pleasant rod for trout fishing. And it went 13 bids on it, went for $950
Wow.
from Rotterdam, Netherlands.
I've got a vintage tree limb and some weed eater string at the house. I got to put me one together.
You just said that guy had a really nice written description there. We need to hire him to write your description
Yeah,
for
for mine,
vintage
maybe I
weed
can
eater.
sell it.
Yeah, there you go.
If I put that on there.
But that tree limb come from a 100-year-old tree, right?
Yeah, it's vintage.
Yeah. So what do you got on reels?
I got an Alcox aerial match 9053 T1 1939 centipede. Brought I'm gonna say brought somewhere around $1,100. I've got a ABU Garcia Ambassador 2500, extremely rare, 1961 or 2, in mint condition. Brought $1,201 with 25 bits. I'd say somebody plugged that dollar in there at the last minute.
Yeah,
there you
and
go.
got it.
Can you top that?
Well, as I say, the thing that strikes me about that is it seems like 1961 wouldn't be collectible enough to bring $1,200, and it seems like at that, if something that recent, even though it's 50 years old still, you'd be going more for the newer, just more
Maybe they didn't make that
designed or
many of
whatever.
them.
I don't know.
There's
Well,
some,
it says extremely rare.
there's
on
something
but you
about
never
them.
know. I could
Somebody-
put extremely rare on his weed eater too.
Yeah. Just now you can only is the weed eater string. You wouldn't call that real rare. would you?
now the string's not vintage.
You know,
It's
just
modern.
just the tree limb.
Modern.
So can you top his?
I've got a Granger Aristocat bamboo fly rod made by Wright and McGill, number GA7633, and this really just looks like bamboo with the four pieces where they slide into each other, and a bag, but they were asking $1,000 and got over $800 for it. So there
my
must be
gosh.
something more to it than just the bamboo.
They probably picked that up at a flea market somewhere.
I hope they did. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah. I got a Hardy Perfect 3 7/8 inch fly reel, left hand agate guide, near mint with a leather case and a box. Brought $1,500, and this thing had 62 bits.
Yeah, it's really nice looking though.
I'm gonna tell you something. This fishing
Nice
stuff's
leather
expensive.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You know something? We've lured in something.
There
Look
you
what
go.
we've got.
We have lured in
Well,
something.
you mentioned dynamite, and that's what it was that
Dynamite.
brought it.
For your ears,
Hey, Mike.
man, Mac.
Have you ever fished with dynamite?
Not on the record.
Since the statute of limitations has ran out,
Have you ever fished with a old crank phone? I told him that's the only two ways I'd fish.
You know, I was present when that classic joke, about the game warden pulled his license and a gun, and I pulled out a stick of dynamite and said, "You want to talk or fish?"
I guess they wanted to finish, didn't he? After that.
so now explain something to me. Now I understand that the telephone crank generates electricity.
Yeah.
But how is it going to generate enough to where it's going to stun the fish?
It will stun them.
Really?
I tell you, what, I've got about 10 old crank telephones.
Yeah.
Come out the house, I want you to hold the end.
When I was a teenager, there was a friend of mine who had one of those, and we would see who could hold it onto the ends the longest, and it didn't take long.
Remember
But
the bells that was on front of them on top?
Oh yeah,
Hold both of them and crank it.
yeah, that'll get you on it.
That'll pop.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where that saying come from, I guess, Max. Right? I'm gonna ring your bell. All right, so we better get back on this fishing stuff.
All right, I've got a Standard Mills Leonard built 50 light, 8-foot long, 3-piece bamboo fly rod. It's used, in case you didn't know. $800 for that one, the one bid. Now this is a really nice one. It comes with a tube to drop them down in the metal tube with a cap and little frills on the cap too.
It's like a piece of galvanized pipe. You just put a cap on it.
You know, bamboo. Evidently, that must be the way to do
It
it.
must be, if you're a vintage fishing rod.
It must be strong.
We have not hit one fiberglass one.
Huh?
They would crimp a piece of metal on the end.
Yeah.
Where they could
But I mean, they
pop
must
pieces
be
together
really
on the
strong. As far as if you got something on the
Yeah.
They are flexible ones.
Like a trap.
Yeah, because it was talking about 1950s one that was,
Yeah.
it said,
Oh.
to go out and use it. It wasn't for display, they were saying, too. So,
I got a Garcia Mitchell 408 DL vintage fishing reel. Brought $1,013 with 36 bids.
I tell you, hopefully after this show today, there'll be a lot of, people taking a second look at their fishing box.
That's what I was going to say. I'd be out there looking at my fish.
What do you say, Max? You think they would? Max nodded his head yes, just to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So that's a yes in an affirmative, right?
here's a Heddon 20-pound, 9-foot, 2 ferrule in unused, never fished condition that came from an estate sale with a deep Heddon collection of lures and reels. This is the only fly rod, and it is in the entire collection mint condition. A rare opportunity for a rare Heddon longer light trout rod. And they had 10 bids on that, but it went for $610.
Wow. Another nice bag.
All right.
That's a-
Real quick, give us one more thing because we got to take a break so you can push in buttons again to keep this show going.
Okay.
I have an Ocean City model 614 reel with box. 7 bids, $998.
See, Ronnie's still up there in that $1,000 range.
Well, but I'm just selling pieces of bamboo for $600.
Yeah,
so,
that's, I mean, I guess really that's the deal, ain't it? The bamboo. Let's take a break.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, folks, we got the real deal here today.
Yes,
the
sir.
Silver Fox himself sitting over in the chair. Max Northcutt. Max, you want to talk antiques with us a little bit?
No.
You done it enough.
He left us and started doing the Civil War stuff. He's hit the big time
Got up the
TV
big
station.
time.
I'm
Yeah.
glad he came over though to prove to everybody he wasn't dead.
What?
That program that I did, I did a program that used to D.W. Wilson.
Yeah, that's where we're going next week and talk about the American Pickers.
That's the only time I've been out since I left here. I hadn't been in very much demand.
Let me ask you something though. Well, after you done the show, did you have to sign a lot of autographs?
No.
None?
No.
Did you take any 8x10s with you?
No, I took a business card or two.
Did you sign them?
No, I just gave them to a couple of people.
Why didn't you sign them?
The lady from the used bookstore in the mall was there.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Do y'all ever talk about tin whistles?
Uh-uh.
Y'all heard of Lonnie Donegan, the old British skiffle? He took American folk songs like Cumberland Gap and
I know
Rock
about
Island
skiffle,
Line.
but I'm the only
Yeah.
guy in the day.
And he did "Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor" on the bedpost overnight.
I do.
Now I love
Yeah.
the he stops in the one version of it and says, "If tin whistles were made of tin, what might foghorns be made of?"
All right, so look here.
So the next thing to do with boats
We gotta have a motor.
and fishing, you got to have a motor to get out on
Don't
the
you,
lake.
Max? You gotta have a motor if you're gonna go fishing, right?
Or an oar.
You mean like a trolling motor?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no,
some
just
kind of motor.
something to get out there.
So-
You got to have a bigger one to get out there, and then a troller to.
See, it sounds like he's done fishing.
Or a
Hey,
good
you
set
must
of
have.
oars.
Yeah, there you are.
I got a vintage Johnson sausage tank with a crate. Wow, with the original crate.
Yeah, that's
Outboard
really nice.
motor boat or boat motor. They were asking $2,500, and they looks like they got probably about $2,000
Huh.
with $200 shipping.
What's that next one?
The next one is a scarce early Clark trawler, outboard motorboat, antique, vintage restored. So
I think that's troller, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, sorry. Went for $1,900 with free shipping on
Huh.
that one. This
That's
is
a
a pretty
chrome
cool
job.
one. This is really nice. An antique vintage water witch outboard boat motor, a May West model. And it looks like something.
It's all chromed out.
It looks like something to go with your old Bel Air. $1,600 with one bid on that. Here's a vintage Johnson A model antique outboard boat motor. They were asking $1,900, and they got probably over $1,000, but I'm not sure exactly.
It looks. Am I looking at this wrong, or is the lower units on these things, are they all chromed out?
The foot.
They all
Yeah,
look-
the foot. Is that what you call them?
yeah. I bet they were all like that to.
Maybe came like that.
Maybe they did that to help with the rust back in the day.
Well, they'll lose.
Yeah.
I tell you what I've got here.
What do you got?
I got a true vintage aluminum craft 78-inch boat oars.
Oars.
Nautical 1960s. These got solid wood grips. $275. That's my motor.
Yeah, that's it. Now those would be priceless if the motor died and you were out on the lake.
Yes, they would.
You might think that's a lot for some oars, but yeah, if you were out on the lake with nothing, those would be priceless. So, here's a vintage Elto Handedwin antique outboard boat motor. They were asking $1,300 and took a best offer on that. Here's another Johnson sausage tank outboard. They were asking $1,800 and took a best offer. I think those are about $1,000 with those.
Looks like they got the
going
thing on
for.
the top where you put your string to crank the thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's how you started.
Yeah.
There was no electric start back then. Here's a vintage Evinrude Fisherman antique outboard boat motor. They were asking $1,200 and took a best offer on it. It's nice, pretty chrome ones.
What about that wooden boat?
Wooden boat with Evinrude Alto Pal outboard motor.
Salesman sample.
Salesman sample.
So that's
Vintage.
just small.
Yeah.
They were asking $1,400 and took a best offer on it.
Speaking of wooden boats, I've got a duck boat here, 3-piece elegant, very old canvas wood with metal sink box style watercraft. Brought somewhere in the $1,400 neighborhood. $1,500 bike now, and he took the best offer on it.
Here's something I had to click on this to see the picture. It looks like a small space heater almost from the top.
Yeah.
It's a 1937 Bendix Eclipse outboard motor, magneto ignition, rotary valve motor. Motor is mechanically sound with good compression and spark. Very nice restoration has been performed. One cooling fin has a small chip, as shown in the picture. The often broken skeg is not broken on this one. It's got the serial numbers, and it says you can zoom into my high-res pictures for more details. And that one went for $800. It's a nice looking one. Kind of looks almost Harley Davidson inspired
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Don't look like a boat motor.
Here's a vintage Mercury KD4 Rocket antique motor.
It looks like a rocket.
It does. They were asking $1,000 and took a best offer, which was somewhere between $800 and $500. Mm-hmm. Here's another rare 1937 Bendix Eclipse. Okay, here's the regular. So it's kind of stubby. It's a short a battery ignition rotary valve. So the 1937 Bendix was one of the first doing that, or Eclipse. $539 was their buy it now on that.
I'm gonna go into building them boats with that new tape they got, where they saw it into.
Hey, what you need to do is just find a bunch with holes in it, and put that new wide tape on there, and you are.
You can sell them with pretty cheap.
Yeah. You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right. Can I finish out with this one here?
Yes, sir. Well, you can finish out with a couple if you'll get on it.
All right. So I jumped over to vintage boat, and I came up with a vintage kitty boat ride. This is one of those out in front of Kmart things, drop a quarter in thing.
Kmart don't have no boat rides.
Well, they did when I was a kid. So.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
$3,800 was.
What's that next one?
Antique vintage huge wood. It says 6 meter. That's 6 foot.
Yeah.
Pond yacht sailboat. 21 bids, $2,225.
I tell you what, I think we've talked ourselves out of a show here. What do you say?
There you go.
You got to push the button anymore, or are you done?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Is Max going to send us off?
Yeah, you want to send us? Come over here, Max. Tell everybody bye. Get over here. Hurry up.
Yeah,
The clock's ticking.
What do you want me to say? Farewell or goodbye? Or?
I don't know. Sing a lullaby or something. I don't know. We'll tell everybody bye.
I'm out of practice on this on these microphones.
We'll say bye.
Bye, y'all.
We'll do it again next week. Let's Talk Antiques is live on Thunder Wednesdays from 10 to 11.